mentioned that the hormonal changes can change the way our skin looks, feels, and smells.
I don't know if people talk about it right now in the perfume community, but hormonal fluctuations during menstrual cycle, pregnancy, as we mentioned, during menopause, they can also alter anything from skin hydration. So hydration, oiliness are things that affect the environments of which microbes live, and they can change the average microbe composition.
You mentioned that the hormonal changes can change the way our skin looks, feels, and smells. What can we do to make our skin feel better and smell better?
Okay, start with what you mentioned, which is like hormonal variations. Let's just break down like a few cases where that would be applied. So an example, during puberty, you mentioned increased what we call androgen level, male hormone levels, lead to more oil production and stronger body odor. So that's like one example. Hormonal, so something that I think is going to be more, I don't know if people talk about it right now in the perfume community, but hormonal fluctuations during menstrual cycle, pregnancy, as we mentioned, during menopause, they can also alter anything from skin hydration. So hydration, oiliness are things that affect the environments of which microbes live, and they can change the average microbe composition. Skin sensitivity, or again, its ability to absorb or sustain different elements that contribute to smells, aromatic compounds, can change as well. So these variations can certain fragrances more or less appealing. So I think it's important to be mindful that these changes are, first of all, not always permanent, and sometimes are, and we need to address that. Sometimes women, and men and women, but let's talk about women, if they have gone through menopause and then they go on hormone replacement therapy, again, they might have different skin microbiome and odor profile, which they will need to adjust to, and everything that we said. But other things can affect how we smell as well. Diet can influence body odor significantly. Obviously, there are many jokes about different ethnicities and the food that they eat. Garlic, onion, spicy foods. They all, and obviously different spices, they all contain compounds that are excreted through sweat. And then that obviously will affect how we smell. I would even say that memories sometimes, this is no joke, memories sometimes can have us excrete certain smells. I mentioned before, hydration levels can also play a role in not only skin health, I think that's kind of common, but the skin scent. We mentioned before the products we apply to our skin, moisturizers, sunscreens, perfumes can interact with our natural skin chemistry in a way which changes it. Again, it can have carryover changes. We mentioned skin pH balance, microbiome. So these things can change because of products that we apply.
Are you for or against of using fragrances in the skincare?
I am very much against. This is, I think, almost a different discussion, because first of all, a lot of the times it's not disclosed what fragrance. So for example, we don't know where this fragrance came from. As we said, fragrances that are sold as fragrances are normally designed as that's their main characteristic. And it also, there is an understanding by the company that sells it to you as far as like shelf life. It is their interest or their incentive, no pun intended, to deliver a product that you would enjoy for a prolonged period of time. And normally that's why, we have pretty harsh, alcohols or other things that are maintaining that fragrance, citric acid, whatever. Not so much in skincare. So perfume, a lot of the times in skincare, is going to be an added ingredient. It can change by changing itself, by becoming more volatile with time. It can change the composition of other molecules. I mean, famously, we talked about vitamin C, but also vitamin E. Most antioxidants, they're very reactive and will not live long-term very well with fragrance. Alongside the fact that most products are designed to absorb into the skin, and they will take the fragrance with them. So I would separate the two.
I love it. I think it brings that much needed clarity. In many ways, the way that, if I understand correctly your point, fragrances as their own standalone product are designed to be of topical application. They are designed to stay on the shelf for years because it's a higher alcohol percentage than wine. So fragrances can go for centuries if stored outside of the light and heat. Okay. While in skincare, if it's already embedded there, even the same aromatic molecule will become more reactive if it's embedded in the skincare. It's much more likely to be actually absorbed into the bloodstream, and it's not supposed to be inside of our body. So we're better off use neutral, fragrance-free skincare and then topically apply whatever scent we want.
Yeah, which is positioning ourselves in a replicable body composition, skin composition, for our skin to behave the same way over and over and over again with the perfumes that we like, for us to know how long they last, etc. Okay? By using things like perfume, by using the same product with the same perfume over the course of, let's say, 6 months, we're actually kind of shooting ourselves in the foot because we're changing anything from, how the scent of that ingredient of that cream, from example, is going to react with a topical scent that we want to use. Sometimes one would agree with it. Then you would want to try, another perfume, a new perfume that came to the market, and they might not interact well together. So it's just, there's a lose-lose situation there. And then obviously over time, the fragrance or its interaction with other molecules in the product can change, therefore changing even reaction with the same ingredient or the same perfume as before. So I think there are no benefits aside from benefits for a producer, the skincare company, adding fragrance to skincare products.
There is also a lot of debates that might be more cultural than functional, but still, that you should stick with the same skincare, hair care, and the same fragrance. Kind of have your signature chemical agents that you always apply on yourself. And there is another point of view that you actually do benefit from either cycling through specific skincare and fragrances because we're designed to detect change. It seems that all of our systems are made to enjoy some form of variation in every area of our health. Where are you on this? So, same signature or variation?
Variation for many aspects. First of all, we should have, when we're talking about the skin, we should have, and that could apply also, by the way, to scent, because it again, women have 4 menstrual phases to their menstrual cycle, and they have different hormonal composition during that cycle, during that time of the month. Therefore, scents will skew during every phase. Okay, so you are not a signature individual. You are not the same individual. You're not the same individual for other factors. Anything from your stress levels to barometric pressure, what you ate, whatever that is. So it's not realistic. And it's also less fun, in my opinion. If we talk about the skin health is built on fluctuation. And we need to have push and pull, or push and relax, I would say, strategy of maybe dividing. Let's talk about something as impactful as retinol. So we have a product that's called bioretinol, for example. And this product is actually designed for people to be able to use it even like twice a day, not often, but maybe a couple months a year. Okay. And other times it's designed to be impactful enough to be used even twice a week and still be effective. So, what it does, again, it mimics the natural usage and production of vitamin A in your body, in your skin. So even as a company, we're saying, hey, you don't need to use a product consistently every day, all the time. I mentioned the hyperbaric mask. We say, hey, use it for 1 month every night after your moisturizer because it's an occlusive product. But then, dial it back to a couple of times a week. We have a product that eliminates a certain type of malfunctioning cells. They're called senescent cells or zombie cells. We're telling you, hey, finish a bottle. And you don't really need to do that for another, 4 to 6 months. So use it for a couple of months, then lay off for 4 months. So use it twice a year. These are, obviously, we're putting our money where our mouth is. Obviously, it's much better for us to have people use products all the time and finishing them very quickly. But this is less sincere. Some things like washing your face, you should do pretty regularly.